welcome to Rockin Comics. I'm Zach.
I'm Amy.
Today we've got a whole new slew of number ones, about half of what DC is offering because I'm not rich, and then a couple by the Marvel and the Dark Horse. Plus, Amy has another awesome.
What?
So, let's get to it. Non-DC, which is going to be easier. BPRD is the actual name. Hell on Earth, Russia, number one. I like the Hell on Earth series that BPRD is doing, and there's not much more to say about it. I mean, Mike Mignola's world is great. The BPRD is cool. The art is neat. The story is just, it's got all the elements that click with me. It's kind of horror-y, kind of myth-y, kind of
sci-fi-y.
Kind of, yeah, there's not much left off the table, so big fan. So, moving on. Avengers 17, it's Fear Itself tie-in. Two problems. Number one, John Romita Jr.'s art, for me, doesn't work all the time with a team like Avengers. I think it works well with people like the Hulk and the Thing, but for the thinner, more subtle characters like Spider-Man and Iron Fist, not so much. But all in all, the
Not
art,
terrible art.
no, it's dynamic, and I appreciate it, but for me it just doesn't consistently work throughout the book. The other issue I have is, swear words out loud here.
What is this?
Not in the book!
What is this?
Not in the book!
I would read this book too.
Not in the book. Stop doing that. It bothers the daylights out of me. You can't put Hawkeye groping up Spider-Woman on the front of the book and then have them not even be in the same panel together.
Next.
Bendis, I still love you. Please don't be angry. Thunderbolts, number one.
Just unfriended you on Facebook.
He stopped. He blocked my Twitter following of him. 161.1. This is a .1 jump on. I talked about it in the podcast. I read this when I was tired. I don't remember much about it, but I didn't hate it.
Next.
Next.
Start there?
Yeah.
Alright.
Blue Beetle, number one. Pass.
Nah.
I just pass.
Even from somebody who likes Blue Beetle, I'm on the fence, and I think it's a shame to be on the fence at this point in the game with 52 titles. More than 52, because they're coming out with more. That you're trying to sell me on.
Right.
You didn't sell me on it.
I just not sold on it. I will say, I liked the art in it, and I enjoyed the villains.
Yes.
So, that was neat. And for those of you wondering what this flashing light is, when it happens, there's a phone ringing.
Someone's never mind. I think I say
Just
what I was
saying.
going to say.
I had an idea, and then it went away.
It's desperately trying to call us.
Not happening. So, Blue Beetle, we talk about why in the podcast, so check it out at rockincomics.com. Next up, let's go with Supergirl.
Okay.
I loved it.
Really, really good.
I liked it. And I talk about in the podcast how I went in with almost zero expectation, which means you would have had to work to let me down, and they didn't. The art, really good. Action from page one. You really are introduced to the character of Supergirl for the first time, her first experience on Earth, which I enjoy. I think it's the first number one that we really kind of get that day one origin with her as we discover it with her as it's happening.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. You can't do that with everybody, and I get that.
Right.
But with this, it works, and it's well done. So, thumbs up DC for this book. This is
no boring origin story.
No.
So, yeah.
Really good. Action, 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 and the last page, really neat.
Phenomenal.
So, Supergirl number one.
Supergirl's hot, by the way. I don't care.
She is hot.
And I love her boots. With the cool little exposed knee. I like that. I really like her costume design.
The outfit's neat.
Yeah.
It's good. Good art, good story, thumbs
good
up.
Stuff.
Red Hood and the Outlaws, number one. Once again, I liked it a lot. You have good art. And we talked last week a little bit, cover art matches the interior art, which I'm a fan of. Thank you, DC, for doing that. Boy, if you like boobs, you're going to like this book. Starfire, a lot of booby going on in this book. But it's more to it than that. You discover the alienness of Starfire, you get some Red Hood action, you get some speedy action, and I like it. Action-wise, the art is good, story's good. It's kind of what I expected, so thumbs up from you guys, man. Once again, good job.
Good stuff.
Not let down. Let me just say I love Batman.
I love Batman.
I like Scott Snyder as a writer. DC, you're tricksy. For 2 months, you showed us a picture of Batman, which we thought was going to be the cover art of Batman. Turns out, was that the cover?
This is the cover.
That was not the cover you promised us.
What is this book?
It's not the cover.
I'm so confused.
I was disappointed because that cover, the promo art for Batman #1 was so awesome. It was dark and shadowy and so, like, I think you said it best in the podcast, it, like, was so everything Batman.
Quintessential Batman.
Very much so.
Yep.
Not that this isn't, this still says Batman to me, not to her. To me, that says Batman. However, disappointed that you kind of baited and switched on us and switched up covers, and so I was expecting a certain style of art throughout this book, which I did not get. Mm-hmm. However, the only thing I'll say is the cover artist is the same as the interior artist on the book that I bought. Thank you. At least you did that. At least I didn't go in going, what the balls?
If this had that other cover on it, I would have had an even bigger problem with the art in this book. I would have had a huge problem with the art in this book.
You were not near as big a fan of the art as I was.
I was not.
Now, it's not my favorite art, don't get me wrong, but I bought into the art. I like, there is a separation between the world of Batman and the world of Bruce Wayne. There's a difference in style. Although you were not as fan of the style of Bruce Wayne's world as
However, I will say that I do like the art in this one better than Detective Comics.
Really?
I did like this because, well, remember we talked about how I didn't like how they did Commissioner Gordon?
Right.
And I like the Commissioner Gordon in this one. He looks like Commissioner Gordon.
He sure does. He sure does.
But Batman looks like Wolverine to me, and I don't know what to do with that.
And there's also a character in here who looks like Kronk.
Yes.
From The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes. And unfortunately no Yzma, because that would have been hilarious.
That would have been. But, so, art's a little inconsistent for Amy, less so with me. Mm-hmm. The more, I've actually read it 2 or 3 times now, the more I read it, the more I like the whole package, the story, the art, and the action. So, I'm a fan more so than Amy.
Which makes me very sad. I really want to love Batman with all of my being.
So,
and I don't. I'm so sad.
Of the
but
three,
it's not a bad book. I feel like I have to say, it's not a bad book. Just was not kick-ass Batman the way I wanted.
So of the 3 main Batman titles so far we've read, Batman Detective, Batman and Robin, and now Batman, really only one did it for you.
Yeah, Batman and Robin hit for me. And the other 2...
We talk a lot more about it in the podcast.
Yep.
Check it out.
Hello.
So, for things that do make you happy, Nightwing, #1.
Yay!
Man, another good one.
Yeah.
Really, and to me, I like the first splash page where you see Dick Grayson as Nightwing. It kind of mimics the first splash page you see of Batman in The Dark Knight. No, Detective, sorry. Dark Knight's out next week. Yes. Detective. So I appreciated that. I liked the weird-looking bad guy in the first one in this. I liked the bad guy at the end. I've been a fan of all the bad guys I've seen so far in all these books. Even in Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
I would rather see the bad guy book in Blue Beetle than Blue Beetle. So give me those bad guys in their own book. Call it whatever the hell you want. Call it Blue Beetle bad guys. I don't even care. I would buy it. Red Hood and the Outlaws. Not what I'm looking at. I'm sorry. Nightwing. Thumbs up. I got carried away.
Yeah, a little mini rant on Blue Beetle in there.
I know. Well, and then I saw Red Hood and the Outlaws over there. Got confused.
But it's Dick Grayson, and I love how they do Dick Grayson in here. I love how we address, and I think that they've done a really good job in all of these Batman titles of addressing what went on while Batman was gone without being really heavy-handed about it.
Yeah.
So, good stuff.
You do get a nice succinct recap of where Dick is at in his superheroing, so, which is nice. Now, our last book is a book I almost didn't even pick up. Quite frankly, I didn't even see it at first on the rack. I didn't pre-order it, and I almost didn't see it. It was in the corner because of where it appears in the alphabet. So it was... And as I'm walking away with my new purchases, I saw it and I went, I kind of have to get Wonder Woman #1. I am so glad I did. To me, we talk an awful lot about why we both like this book in the podcast, but the art, the feel, the story... To me, Wonder Woman in this series feels much more myth-based, mythological-based than she has in a long time for me. And I liked it, and I liked the art. The art was reminiscent to me that's something I thought I'd see in Hellboy or some Mike Mignola stuff. So, You knew I'd like that. You like the art in it.
I did like it. You know, this panel here where she chops off the horse's head, and it's very no, sorry, wrong movie. Then this thing comes out of the horse's body,
and
I was like, whoa, what is this? This was not what I thought I was gonna get with Wonder Woman, but I dig it.
Yeah.
God, it's just wonderful.
Good art.
I think that Wonder Woman looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I know some people were not huge fans of her costume, but
I'm good with it.
yeah.
I gotta be honest, I liked it.
She's so freaking... Look at that! She, like, headbutts the centaur! She's badass!
She's badass.
It's Wonder Woman, people!
She's pretty cool. She still has a lasso, still has the bracelet-y
Yep.
things. So, but man, just so good, top to bottom. Brian Azzarello, I believe, is Brian Azzarello the author of this one? Yes.
Yep.
And the art by Cliff Chiang, or Chang, or whatever. Sorry, Cliff. Man, the art, story, and action and pacing of this book are damn near perfect.
Yep.
So, this, collectively, is our Rockin' Comic of the Week.
The Rockin' Comic. Yay!
But we did have strong number twos. Yes. I thought, for me, my number two is Supergirl.
Supergirl. Mine was Nightwing.
So, what we're saying is...
I feel like, you know, it could have been Supergirl, too. I really like Supergirl, too.
Nightwing, Supergirl, Wonder Woman this week are surefire hits if you pick them up. Unless you like unfocused comics that feature a guy as a Blue Beetle, then go for that.
Can't just let it go. You gotta get the dig in.
Unfocused comics that have good art. What's your Amy's Awesome for this week?
Amy's Awesome this week. It's another comic, oddly enough.
Weird!
It's a comic called Bone.
Now, are we going to cry on this one?
No.
Okay.
Thank God.
Thank you.
I suppose you could. But, Bone was written, and I think that he may have originally started it, maybe gearing it a little younger. And then sort of as he went through the story, he kind of allowed that creative process to take him down a little bit of a darker path. A little bit more... Mature path is not exactly the word. I think that maybe dark is the right word.
Alright.
I mean, we're not talking like Batman level. There's no blood and guts pouring out everywhere. But it's dark thematically.
Okay.
But it's so good. It's funny. It's intelligent. You have great interpersonal relationships. Pretty much with all of the characters' interaction, you have so many awesome relationships going on. I mean, you have your three main Bone characters. You got Phone Bone.
I'm like 12. Every time she says bone, I want to laugh.
Bone. And his name's not Bone, but Phony Bone. Your three Bones. They've been kicked out of Boneville.
I may have to get up and leave.
It just writes itself. And they meet this girl.
You know, we went almost an hour in the podcast and I didn't laugh this much, and something about it right now is making me just want to
The
die.
three Bones meet the girl. Woo, it's just suddenly gotten very hard.
I've never read that book, but I think I did see it on the internet.
Wow. I feel like we need to edit this podcast.
I don't think we're going to. I think we're just going to let that fly.
Wow, anyway. See, I did cry. Whoo!
Ah!
Holy cow.
Why? Because I'm 12.
Oddly enough, at Borders, before Borders shut down, this book was located in the children's section.
Shame on you.
Yes, we hit on something.
Shame on you.
Anyway, it's not written for 12-year-olds, but you know, 12-year-old probably could still enjoy it.
I feel bad. I feel like I've sabotaged a very nice thing here.
For an intelligent review of this book, check out the podcast.
Sorry.
I feel like we may just need to end it here.
Alright. So basically what she's saying is Bone, the series, which you can get in a giant collection or smaller collections, is awesome. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Without me wrecking it?
Something like that.
Bone is awesome. Wonder Woman is
Rockin'
awesome.
Comic.
There we go.
Oh my lord.
We should be done.
We're done.
We'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye. And then you said started going, and I'm like, can't even get this next one out.